Good morning. It's Thursday, November 5th. Look at how good I'm doing. Good morning, good morning. Bat signal going up. It's time to join in, have a little fun, see where we want to go. Today is Nothing is Everything Day. Nothing is everything, everything's backwards, upside down. So we're going to take a look at the world from a different perspective today. I think that's really important to keep reminding. Let's see one, come on in. I'm a little late. I apologize if I made anybody wait today. Some days I just can't quite shake it out fast enough. But I'm here. Still trying to shake myself out. How are you guys? I see a couple people joining in. Come on in. Let's have a little fun. Let's talk for a bit. I see you, Carol. Good morning. Come on in. What do you think of when I say everything? Nothing is everything. Hi, Julie Kiss. Good morning. Here and present. Very good. Very good. I'm checking you off with the roll call. You guys made it. Good morning. So, nothing is everything. That's what I keep. I post something and then I'm like, what did I post again? In one ear, out the other. I can be a real blonde sometimes. See, there's blonde in the head. Anyway, so I think we've been doing this thing, this nothing is everything for a long time. And the reason why I said that this morning was because, hi Jennifer, because for me, hi Wendy, good morning, glad you made it. I noticed when I first started making videos, and this was, 4 years ago almost, 3.5 at least. I noticed, thank you guys for sharing. I noticed that the days when I came in to the video and the days when I try to plan ahead and be focused and think that I know what needs to be said, it's never very good. It tends to fall apart. So I come here pretty much every day with nothing. I got nothing. And I even did a series on that for a while. I got nothing. Because it's not my ego that we want to talk to. Trust me. My ego's a disaster area most of the time. It's that higher self that's making the shift into the higher self. And when you move into that shift, when you come into the higher perspective, that's where clarity comes in. That's where things just seem to fall into place. The puzzle pieces just kind of fall into place. So it's coming at you with nothing egoically today. And that phrase can cover so many different things for so many of us. You know, I really feel like we're looking at the world backwards most of the time. We're born and we're taught certain ways to look at the world, and it's not really the truth. The truth is that we're so much more than that. That without even knowing it, we're so abundant. And we walk around thinking, we're looking at the physical and we're going, well, I don't have this and I don't have that, and I'm struggling with this or whatever. And the truth is that we are actually, truly, honestly abundant. And if we could all see how abundant we are, we would stop fighting so much. We would stop holding on so tightly to our things. So that's where I'm coming to this from today, because I'm working my way through it too. I'm just as human as anybody else, and I struggle and I wonder, okay, where is it? Why can't I see it? Why can't I hold it in my hands? So it's all about seeing the world from that different perspective today. Hi, Jen Stewart. I hope you're feeling okay right now. I hope that you're healing quickly. Deborah Snowsill, thank you for joining us. Let's see, I saw somebody else. Chetta, thank you for popping in. Jennifer, Melanie, good morning. You guys are coming in quickly. Thank you for popping in this morning. All these people want to play Jennifer. Nice to see you. So that's where I am today. We don't even have to talk about it for a long time. It's just that different perspective. When I was little, I used to love to be upside down. I think I've talked about that before. I have pictures of myself, even from the time I was probably a 6-month-old baby standing on my head. I was always looking at the world from a different perspective. And I didn't really understand why. When I was little, it was just like, I'm tired of the world the way it is. So I want to see it from a different direction. So I loved monkey bars, hanging upside down. I loved on my couch. How many of you would lay down on your sofa and you'd put hang your head over upside down, put your legs up against the sofa where your back should have been, wherever, and look at the world, because I love to look at things as if I was able to walk on the ceiling, as if everything was completely upside down and different. And I think that when we're little, we just know. We know that we're doing it wrong. Like the rest of the world is really just doing this wrong. We're looking at it wrong. So right now we're in a time that's really important to change the perspective, aren't we? I have fallen into it. In the past 24 hours, I've been just really every so often checking the results, checking. I want to see what's going on. And it's almost becoming like I almost feel really, I've got this sense of, excitement. Like, I got to go check in on that. And that's very unlike me. I tend to pull away from the news a lot. But there's a part of me that keeps drawing and wants to pick up the phone and look. So it's an addictive nature. It really is for those of us that, of course we've been on the planet. We want to see what everybody else is doing. In so many different areas, we're always so busy looking at what everything else is, all the 3D stuff that's going on around us. So I'm having to really, Carol, yes, climbing trees. Beautiful, Jennifer. You're welcome, John. Carol, I did that always. I like to be upside down as a kid. I think that's why I like the trapeze. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, because I think that our young selves want to remind us, that inner child that's still very much alive wants to remind us to see things differently, to look through childlike eyes, to see it with a little more innocence, to stop judging, to release that need to compete, that need to try to figure it all out, and to just hang upside down for a while. Just hang upside down. Be a bat today. Let's all be bats. Let's hang upside down, because the world is not as we think it is. That's what Spirit keeps bringing to me, and I know many, many other people are getting that same phrase. It's not as we think it is. Our two eyes, our brain focuses. It's like, okay, how many times have they told you that everybody that looks through their eyes is actually seeing something very different, because it's all about how the light shines in on something and how our eyes perceive it. So if that's true and that's scientific, then what if we somehow are able to change that focus? What if we're looking at it more? We shut our eyes and we're looking at it more through that third eye, through our higher perspective, through our intuition, through those abilities that are really coming in strong. What if we see things differently? Are we able to, by envisioning the world a different place, are we actually creating? I say yes. So when we focus too much on the news and all the stuff that's going on, we're actually contributing our energy, this powerful energy that we brought through to the planet, to all of the unrest that's going on the planet. And I guess it depends on how you're going to it. It's not like, you're just checking in, you're keeping it positive, you're not being judgmental, you're not pulling yourself down into that lower vibration. That's okay. If you decide to put yourself in that place of arguing, of walking, of marching on the streets, of fighting with people who have a different perspective, you're literally pulling yourself right back down into that mud and muck. And by doing that, you're contributing to this heaviness, and we're powerful beings. So please remember your own power today as much as you can. And I know we haven't even scraped the surface yet. I keep seeing the Titanic. I think there's a reason. It just dawned on me why the Titanic keeps coming up all the time. The Titanic, when it was out on that water, there was a huge iceberg, but all they saw was that little piece of the iceberg sticking up out of the water, and they thought, that's nothing, we're fine. Full speed ahead. They hit that iceberg, and the damage was done by the fact that it was massive, and the damage came from what they could not see. They didn't know that there was so much more under the surface. And all it took was along the side of this big, beautiful, powerful vessel to take it down. So how does that relate to us? Where there's so much, I don't want it to go into the negative, but it does sometimes. There's so much in the collective consciousness they can't see. They can't see the changes that are coming forth. They can't see it. All they see is that little bit. This little thing that's sticking up out of the water, that's all they can see, and they can't see everything that's down under. And so because they can't see everything that's down under, it creates a fear in them. This is a good iceberg that's coming to pass right now. It's beautiful. It's what we've all been waiting for. But if we only respond to that little bit, even as light workers, if all we're seeing is that little bit above the surface, and we're like, I can't, no matter what I do, I can't make this happen. You know, like all I've got is this little bitty thing. I know I'm manifesting. People keep telling me that I'm manifesting, but all I see is this little tiny manifestation, this little tiny piece of ice. When the truth is there's so much that you can't see. It's all under the surface. What we're doing together collectively as light workers is creating a brand new earth, basically a whole new way of living, and all we can see is a little tiny piece of it. And so we get frustrated, we lose hope, we sit down and we throw up our hands and we're like, wow, okay, I've been working at this for so long and I'm just not seeing any results, so I quit. You know, I'm ready to just take a break from it. The reminder is that that iceberg is under the water, that everything that we're creating is down there, that we have created so much under the surface in a place that we can't see it, and yet it's just as real as the hand in front of my face. It is. It really is. Because we're creating energetically before we're creating physically, right? We all know that. We've had that lesson. So we've got this big, beautiful, brand new earth that we've created, and it's under the surface. We can't see it. It's like all we see is all of the unrest on the planet and all the people fighting and violence and, oh gosh, it's such a mess. But the truth is that we are, when I say everything, nothing is everything. What we can't see is everything. Does that make sense? Like, it's the things that we can't see that we're moving into. So the physical eye can't see the changes, but the third eye, the higher self, when you move into that space, that part of you knows you're making a difference. So that's why it's so important to take the time to make that shift every day. Don't just sit there and look with your two physical eyes at everything that's going on in the world and go, well, it doesn't matter what we're doing, it's just falling apart. These 3Ders, they're destroying everything. There's nothing that we can do about it. They're too powerful. That's not true. We spend time. Our power comes when we sit on that bathroom floor. That after Steve died, I told a lot of you this already, the most powerful time in my life was the experience that I went through with the greatest loss in my life. And so please know that these things that are going on, there's a lot of loss and there's a lot of pain and a lot of suffering. And from this energy of pain and loss and suffering comes miracles, comes an awakening like we've never known before. So I can look at it from my own perspective. My life went along just a certain way, and I thought I was doing really well with it, and I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I was going to grow old with someone who was only 3 years older than me. I thought, man, I got this figured out finally. You know, like, we're really good partners. We were good partners. It wasn't perfect, but we were good partners. And so for me, I was like, okay, we got this going. We're doing fine. And then suddenly he was sick, and he was taken in such a short time. And during the time that he was ill, I got down on my knees for the first time in my life. I started seeking the power that was within me. I was like, okay, bring it. I got to heal this man. There's got to be a way that this man can heal. I don't want to lose him. And it absolutely, the doors and windows flew open wider than they've ever, like something that I had been trying to find forever, suddenly was there. I don't know how many lifetimes I've gone through trying to bring this forth and not being able to do it until finally he stepped aside for me. And we both went through a horrible traumatic event together. And during that traumatic event, I learned to get down on my knees. I learned to really seek my higher self, the power that rests within me, the strength of the angels, the guides that I had all around me that I was completely ignoring. These archangels, the ascended masters, I didn't know anything about that 4 years ago. I was just learning. It's been that fast. So collectively over the whole earth, can you imagine all of the things that are going on right now? There's so much death, there's so much suffering. This is all an opportunity for a worldwide awakening of humanity. These big traumatic events are opportunities. They seem like a punishment. We can sit down and go, oh, what did I do? I was there. I remember looking at him going, this is all my fault. I did this. This is my fault. I don't know what I did wrong in a past life. I don't know why I created this horrible, painful event in my life, but I looked at him. Those big blue eyes were so soft. I remember that day, and I said, I know, I can feel it in my bones that this is my fault. And after he passed, he made it clear to me that, of course, it was my fault because I'm the one that created the plan. It was my plan for us to come here to find each other, to go through this loss so that I could wake up finally in physical form to the truth of who I am. Yes, because we take it so seriously. We take everything as a punishment. We take it all as this horrible event, and we can sit around and we can moan and gripe all we want, and we can fall into grief, and we can lay down and wish we were dead. And trust me, I did. But if I hadn't gotten back up off that floor and really sought the healing abilities, the strength, the power that's within me, sought my higher self, I wouldn't be anything today. I might not even be alive. So, and I know that we're all of us are here for a purpose, and sometimes many times, probably always, we have to go through something traumatic or difficult or painful in order for us to finally wake up to the truth of who we are. That's the truth, flat out. If you've had a traumatic event and it seems like it just knocked the wind right out of your sails, please look at it differently. Please change the focus. That traumatic event was meant to wake you up to your truth, to help you to realize that there is truly no death. There's nothing to be afraid of. There is no death. Yes, I lost him physically, but in every other way, our love affair grew because suddenly, I know in life he was not a spiritual being. He was not, like, of course he was a spiritual being, but he wasn't focused on spirituality. He was focused on Batman movies and things like that. And he used to frustrate me. I was like, oh, come on, let's talk about this deep thing. And he would be like, for just a split second, and then he'd bounce back into a movie or something. And I loved him anyway. And when he passed, the last few weeks of his life, he became much more spiritual. I knew he was going to the other side. He was spending time remembering the truth of who he was. And when he would come back, it was like I could look in his eyes, even though we didn't get a lot of communication. I looked in his eyes and I could see that deeper wisdom. He was gaining that deeper wisdom as he was spending more time on the other side. He was remembering the truth of our plan. And so he gave in to that plan. And that took more strength than even I can ever imagine to give in, because I know that he didn't want to. I know that it wasn't his choice to leave us like that. So it was my choice. When we're on the other side, we make all these big plans. Trust me, guys, come on. I'm Joan of Arc on the other side, I'm sure of it. Like, total martyr. I'm like, yeah, of course we can do that. Of course we can go and do all these wonderful things on earth. We'll find each other. We'll know that we're never going to lose each other. There really is no death, and it's okay. We're going to go through this, and we'll be fine, and it's going to wake me up, and blah, blah, blah. I know that I did that. I know that it was my fault. And it's okay, because I knew, because when push came to shove, we both went through with our part of the plan. So please know that, please. There's a deeper perspective, a deeper reasoning behind everything that's going on, and we can get totally focused in all these little details, and we can get hurt and lost and scared and mad, angry that things aren't coming together the way that we want them to. Please know that there is a bigger plan in all of this. There is a bigger plan. I can feel it. I feel it, and it frustrates me sometimes because I'm like, okay, come on already. I'm ready. Let's do this. There's perfect timing. Everything is coming together exactly the way that it needs to, according to the plan that we all have created together. We're all pulling together. We're finding each other. There's a reason behind all of this, and so nothing is everything. We think that we have nothing when actually that entire iceberg is sitting right there under the surface. We've already created it. So that's what I got this morning. Hi, Tina. Hi, Jennifer. All right, so let me see. Each of my eyes perceive colors differently. That's cool, Carol. 111 all morning long today. And I see, wow, very good, Julie. Good morning, Tammy Fisk. My heart goes out for your loss, Diane. My grandmother passed away of cancer as a teen, so I understand. Then her spirit visited me. This is Jennifer. Her spirit visited me and changed my life in an awakened path. My grandmother chose to guide me. Exactly. He didn't leave me. I can sit around and be totally sad, but he just chose to stay with me in a different form. You know, it's like, and how beautiful is it to have somebody in your life that can bring you rainbows and the most beautiful birds and butterflies. And he helped me to change the perspective. He helped me to change my lens, because looking at the world through his lens was pure magic. Please know that when these people, when our loved ones do pass like they do, if they stay close to us, or if they choose to become guides, or whatever the plan is, when they are in close like that, if you can spend time on your floor really working, there's no time on the other side. So it may be someone that passed 50 years ago, whatever. Call them in anyway and ask to see the world through their perspective sometimes, please. Because when you do that, everything becomes so magical. Like, you'll see just the lighting changes and the colors become more vivid, and you can feel the peace and the joy, and there is no lower vibrational anything. There's no hate, no judgment, no nothing. He allowed me to see the world through the perspective of the other side, of the beauty and the perfection that we all return to when we step out of physical form. And so when they do that for us, it's like we forget it. You know, like we just change. It has no other. There's nothing else that could happen. You can't not change from an experience like that. You suddenly go, oh, okay, well, geez, what do I got to be afraid of anymore? You know, I'm gonna give you guys a little hard time for a second. I have a show called Creation to Connections. It's on every Thursday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And I have been working with a lot of people, trying to help them shift into a different perspective, and they're doing a beautiful job. I have such amazing people that I work with. And every week I'm like, all right, who would like to stick around at 4 o'clock and be on the show with me? And nobody will do it. And I want you guys to understand that when Steve first died, I got this push to start putting my face out, start talking publicly. And I was like, no, I didn't even let people take pictures of me. Steve could take pictures of me. He did it all the time. Most of them I hated, but but when I looked at him, when he would take a picture of me and I would look at him, I would get a certain look on my face. It was love, and it changed my face, and I liked those pictures. And so after he died, I got this push, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I did a lot of writing. I finally started being in a dark room, or I'd be out driving my car or something weird, and I started doing it that way. And I started getting more and more comfortable with my face and my voice. And this is like 3.5 years later. I've done it a lot now. I've had to practice a lot. I'm still not that great at it. I still stumble. But I do the best that I can. And that's good enough. We put ourselves out there. We put our stories out there. We share ourselves with the world because people are awakened by the energy that we put forth, by just showing up. It may be, I remember when I started this and I was like, well, if one person watches me, I'm okay with that. Maybe that one person, if that one person says, wow, I really needed to hear that today, it's good enough. It's good enough. And I still hold that same energy. If one person shows up today, if 4 or 5 of you show up and we do this live together, I feel like, wow, thank you for joining me. Thank you. Because 2 or 3 are gathered together, we're so much more powerful when we gather. I tend to be a very independent person. I came and I'm like, no, I can do everything myself. I don't need anybody to help me. I can push it to the point of being ridiculous. When Steve got so sick, I didn't want hospice. I hated him. I got angry at hospice. I was so angry with them, and I didn't want them, and I fired him because I wanted to be the one to decide whether or not he needed curative care or whether or not it was just going to be comfort care. And I was nowhere near ready for comfort care in 5 or 6 weeks. I was nowhere near ready. So, even though that's what I did, but I still wanted curative care too. Right up until the last day, I was fighting for him. And, but that meant that I had to try to do everything myself. And I know that that probably in some ways made it more difficult for him. Because he was heavier than me. I couldn't just pick him up. I even got a lift from them at one point. I had to get him in the lift to move him from one place to another. It was crazy. I thought I was Superwoman. I still can be one of those people. I still have that, and part of that is my inner warrior, and it's important to be strong, I do believe, but it's also important to remember to turn to each other. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to accept help. It's okay to not be alone on the planet. So, This creation to connections is all about creating these beautiful connections so that we have those people that when we're feeling really, really down, there are times this past month that 2 months that I've been so low down and I needed someone. And thank goodness there are a few people out there that were reaching out that brought that what I needed. So I think it's important for us to not be afraid anymore. I know nobody wants to come on that. They're all afraid. I'm like, why are you afraid? We're best friends. We're just going to sit and talk for an hour. Literally. I'm pretty easy to talk with. We're just going to sit and talk. And just because we're on camera, there's not going to be 1 million people watch it. There might be 200-300. That's all. It's not that big a deal. And you're sharing your story. And if your story goes out and it's received by one person, and that one person says, thank you. Gosh, I really needed to hear what you just said. Then you just made this ripple on the planet. You just started a ripple effect. One person, one ripple, touches another ripple, touches another ripple, touches another, and pretty soon we just got the whole lake is covered in ripples, and the whole ocean or whatever, the world is covered. And that's what we so need right now. So please, when you have opportunities, whether it be on something like that or wherever you have opportunities to share a little bit of your light and your love, that's why you're here. Don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid. People will receive you in ways that you never thought possible. They'll be like, oh, they show up, and you're like, what is anybody, wait, what? Because I never thought anybody would show up for me, truly. I was like, what does anybody want me for? Please, you got to change your perspective. You have a beautiful story. We all have incredible stories to share, all of us. And when we share them with one another, it wakes each other up. It reminds each of us that we're not alone. Whatever purpose it is, it's important to share. So there, I called you out, guys. I know you're always here, John. I love you too, Erica. Thank you for popping in. Jennifer, I will share more. Good. Share in your way. Whether it's painting, whether it's poetry, whether it's singing, whether it's giving, whether it's just going out and offering to help clean up a neighbor's yard that's elderly and can't, whatever you can do just to share yourself with the world. That's what Operation Joy is all about too. And I see a lot of people on there sharing every day. What I want to see with Operation Joy is us figuring out how to share outside of our group. Like I just said, is there an elderly person? Is there Melanie? She shared where she took her horses to. She and a friend took horses to a care home where there was elderly, so that they could spend a little time looking at those horses, talking to the horses. That's what I'm talking about. Where are you in your world? Who's around you? Who's having a hard time today? Could you share a little bit with them? Share a little bit of your light. That's what it's all about. It's the only reason why I get on here every day. Sometimes I'm like, well, do I really want to do? Yes, of course I do. Because if I share my light to one person that needs it, then it's good enough, right? Good, Erica. I'm glad that you always need to hear what I have to say. I'm glad somebody. No, I don't beat myself up like that anymore. I just come on anyway. Even on the days when I'm like, ugh, gee, I didn't want to get out of bed today. I'll do it anyway because you guys brighten my day. It's a dual purpose. Good morning. Let's see. You are so welcome, Jennifer. I'm glad that you're enjoying that group. I love horses too. Horses are one of my major big time spirit animals. They have been important to me since I was a little girl, and I can't get enough. If I could just have a horse and I don't want to ride it. I mean, I like to go riding, but I feel guilty. I really just want the horse to be, I just want it to walk around the field and look pretty and let me brush it. I love horses so much. Let's see what we got going here. I'm glad, John. I'm glad you enjoy them. Power in numbers, exactly. It's all about, thank you, Jennifer, for saying that. It's all about us being willing to. All right, John, when you feel better, you let me know, and you'll come on Thursday if you can at 4 o'clock. You can come on with me, and we'll do a live together because we're all doing these connections. And anyone else today, the show is today at 4 o'clock. Anyone on here that says, yeah, I'll do the show with you today, I appreciate the connections. Just let me know. I'll set up a Zoom link. All you gotta do is pop in. We'll sit around and talk like we're old friends, and it'll be fine, I promise. I'm really easy to get along with. And it's only an hour. You would be surprised how fast an hour flies by. John, I've cleared up my chakras and spinal cords. I've also balanced my kundalini. I'll ask the Lord Jesus Christ and Archangel Michael to vacuum me and take away all the negativity of virus and anything that doesn't belong in me. Very good. Same kind of stuff I think every day. Hi, Ross. Wait, Rose? Is that it? Roz? I think that's it. Oh, yeah, Jennifer, you feel closer to your grandmother than now, more in spirit. Yeah, that's the truth, is when we pay attention. When our loved ones go into spirit form, it's actually easier for those of us who are light workers to feel comfortable with them, because here's the thing, this is important, and then we're going to go to meditation. When we're, cutest little bird. When we're, hi, Charlie. I'm so distractible today, I'm sorry. When we're light workers, when we're empaths, really this is an empath thing. Empaths read people all the time, whether we want to or not. It's like we're forever reading the moods, the energies that people are putting off. It's just what we're made of. And when we are around people who do not let themselves be fully seen, they're covering themselves up, they're cloaking themselves. I know from me and many people, I can't even talk. I get all tongue-tied. I can't even figure out how to communicate. And so oftentimes those people in our lives, they would cloak themselves and they didn't fully let us in. And so even though that everyone has a right to that for sure, it still is, it forms some kind of a discomfort, a disconnect for us. And because we're so good at connecting on a very deep level, it makes people uncomfortable. There's a certain amount, there's many people in our lives that are like, they will treat us horrible or turn and walk away from us just because they can't handle that deep connection that an empath has. And we can't help it. It's just the way that we are. We connect easily and we connect deeply. Let me change that. It depends on the kind of empath you are too. We connect easily. I'm going to continue with the connect easily. But I know empaths who connect easily to animals and uneasily to people. Those people tend to connect more easily to other empaths who are better at managing their energy. We connect easily to those who are good at managing their energy, and those who are cloaking themselves, we can't connect to, and it causes that division inside of us. Derision, what is a good word for that? It's like this disconnect. It's like, I would like to connect with you. I feel like I'm supposed to connect with you, but I can't see you. I can't fully reach out to you because you're too closed off. Make sense? It's difficult. It's a skill. It's a deep ability. Being an empath is a strong ability, but it doesn't mean that we're going to be able to connect with everyone on the planet. There's too many people on the planet that are very closed off, that really don't want to be open. Their ego is very happy right where it is. So, sorry, I'm getting dried out. Okay. Jennifer, yes. Hi there, Charlie. I love that with the horses. My daughter owns one. When I am sad, I go see him. Then I'm all better. It's true. Horses are so healing. They really are. You look in those eyes. I saw that one I posted pictures of that was blind a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to bring him home with me. Ah, gosh. They have such big hearts. They're such an incredible animal. So I'm deeply connected to them. I feel like I may have been a horse in a past life. I don't know. I love horses. I'm right there with you. Okay, you guys. Maybe it's because animals are so open to sharing their hearts with us that it comforts us. That's why so many can go for horse therapy. And when they're close to that horse and those big brown eyes, they're like, I feel that big heart of yours. And it brings us comfort. I used to do that with Steve. There were some horses. We used to go to this one park in Santa Claus. And they had some horses out there in the field, and I have pictures. He would call it my horse therapy. He would, on a day when I was really depressed or down, he would just grab the keys, let's go, and we'd head for that field. And as we got up close to the field, those horses would come over close, and I could touch them and talk to them, and I felt better. Mhm. This was long before I really opened up a lot more, but I needed that. I really needed that horse therapy. I think sometimes I still do. I still need it. There's not a lot of opportunity around here, but Jennifer. Hi, Angel. Good morning. Jennifer, I connect to easy to animals. Yeah, that's an empath thing. And I feel everyone's energies as an empath for sure. My great grandfather was a horse whisperer. Wow. I'm going to paint them perfect. Sounds like you've got some work to do there, some connecting with horses. It might be that you are the same, that you brought through that same ability through your family line. That's really amazing. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Horses are healers. Amen. I think dogs are healers too, and cats, and most animals. If they come in close. How many times do dogs come in close to you and you can feel their energy? Or cat lays on your lap and starts to purr, and you suddenly feel better. Animals come here to heal us, don't they? Even big animals that we use for food and stuff. It's true. All right, let's go ahead and go into some meditation. We're running out of time. I want you to get a good solid 10 minutes in. We're going to go into some healing. Lots of healing energy. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. This virus is making a big comeback here in the States, and I'm sure in other places too. We need a lot of emotional healing. We need some lightening up. Let's lighten up this energy that's all around us today. Good morning, dear hearts. Angel, I love the way you talk. Okay, take a big breath. Put your feet down if you can. And I want you to envision some really, really deep roots. Digging deeply into the earth. Let them dig. Get yourself well planted. We're going to fly high, and we don't want our bodies to go up too. We want our bodies to stay on the earth right now. Stay connected to this beautiful planet. Stay here with us. We need you. We need you. Okay, just felt a nice lift off the heart. Perfect. Angels are already at work. Ooh, gosh, powerful this morning. Making me want to cry already, you guys. Okay, take a big breath. Pull all of this beautiful angelic energy in. We're calling in all the angels. They're already here. They're like, wow, you were already here. But for your sake, I'm going to call them in. We got Archangel Raphael for healing and Archangel Michael for severing all those nasty old cords and attachments that are holding us down. He's going to work on clearing any soul contracts, any old karma, any old energy, anything. Whether we realize it's there or not, any curses on the family line, any cords, any hooks. Sometimes those cords have hooks. We want them all removed, everything. From our backside all the way around the front, all the way around, 360 degrees, all the way around us. Clearing our energy so that we can stand and be seen in all of our beautiful light. So taking a big breath. Any energy that's within us that's creating illness, any blocks of energy, any place that we are holding out that we don't have perfect flow, we want that cleared away. So pay attention to anything, any thoughts, feelings, anything that comes up to you during this meditation. If there's a certain color, it relates to a certain chakra that needs some more work, more clearing. You're going to want to work to really keep yourself clear. Roto-rooter is what it's like, just clear all the way down through every one of your chakras. The way that you stay free of disease is to keep your vibration high. Disease is at a lower frequency. If your vibration is way up here, it can't come anywhere near you. So please remember constantly to work. And if you are getting sick, then there's a block there. There's something there that's keeping you in a lower vibration. Don't let anyone hold you in their low vibration. I know it's difficult. We have loved ones that we want to be right there for. You can be there for them, but you don't need to be tied to them. Sever those cords and attachments and just love them. Just give them love. So taking a big breath. I see things just falling to the ground. So if you were that pirate and you are walking the beach and you've jumped off of that plank, you've walked the plank, you've decided that being on that ship with all of those pirates, they're all focused on the worldly things. They're all wanting to drink and party and you know, it's not really your show anymore. You've decided that you're going to rise above all of that. You want to live in a higher frequency. And so you go ahead and step off that plank and you fall into this beautiful sea. And there's beautiful ocean waves, and they carry you to a beach. There's nobody else on the beach, it's only you. You have layers and layers of protection wrapped around you right now. I want you to see yourself. I want you to see yourself dropping all of those things to the beach. They make a soft sound as they fall. So first you can lean down and take those big old heavy boots off. You don't need to protect those feet. The sand is warm and soft. It's a little damp. The water's been washing over it and it feels so good. You can take those boots off. Just set them aside. Don't need them. Take a couple of steps and feel that sand underneath you. Doesn't that feel good? Now your coat is wrapped around you, and there's no need for that. You don't need to hide yourself anymore. Go ahead and let that coat fall to the ground. We'll work on that in a minute, John. Right now we got to clear off all of this heaviness. Drop that coat to the ground. The angels love to work with creativity. It's okay. So as you step away from that big old heavy coat, you're feeling a little lighter. Your feet are bare. No heavy wet coat. The sun is able to touch your skin. Can you feel the warmth of it? You have just a glittery, beautiful gown on right now, or bathrobe, whatever you want to call it, a robe, whether you're male or female. There's this beautiful robe made of angelic energy wrapping around you right now. It causes no weight. It feels lighter than anything you can imagine, silky and soft against your skin. There's still a hat on your head. Let's get rid of that. We don't want that. It's blocking us from this beautiful energy that's coming down through the crown. Take that hat and just toss it. Throw it on the ground. It's okay to let that beautiful light shine down on you. Don't try to hide it. And some of you are still carrying a sword. You can let go of that sword. You don't need to protect yourself anymore. You have a beautiful team of angels all around you. They're taking care of you at all times. Archangel Michael carries a sword. You don't need to carry yours. Let it go. No more fighting. We're done fighting. We're releasing those tools that keep us in that circle, that vibration of fight or flight. Freeing ourselves from PTSD, from lower vibrations, from mental illness, from physical illness, from spiritual energy flus, anything like that. We're freeing ourselves. Let it go. And if you have a shield in your hand, I see a few of you are still carrying that heavy shield. Drop it. Do you hear it clump to the ground? Clunk. It's gone. It's gone. So now here you are. When you first started walking, turn around. I want you to see the tracks. When you first started walking on this beach, your footsteps were very heavy. They dug deeply into the sand. So if you turn around and look, you can see where the water is washed up and it's created little pools of water in your footprints. Now as you're walking, you're just walking lightly over the top of the sand. You're barely even leaving footprints. It's all about letting go. They're trying to remind us to let go now, to let go of the perspective that we have to take care of everyone else, that we have to be all alone, that we have to carry protection around us at all times, that we have to keep all of these horrible memories, that we have to hold on to, the heaviness. It's time to let go. You can't control. There's no need to control. Your higher self, your angels, they're very good at bringing you right to where you're supposed to be. So the ego needs to let go. So let your ego just rest right now. Tell it it's okay. It's okay, ego. You've been so good to me. I love you, ego. And allow it to go take a rest. Allow it to find healing. Allowing the ego to release all cords, all fear, anything related to fear. The ego is letting go right now. For a little while, ego gets to just feel freedom. Taking a rest, take a vacation, go on a cruise, ego, it's okay. And you are feeling lighter and lighter and lighter. So source energy is coming down over the crown. I don't know if you've felt the heat. Away with you, ego, exactly. Walking like a bird. Perfect, John. We're lighter and lighter and lighter. It's just about like we're pretty soon our feet are barely touching the ground, and as we walk, we pick right up off the ground because we're so light, and that's okay. Enjoy that freedom. There's this beautiful clearing energy going down through every one of your chakras. I feel it coming down over the crown and through the third eye. Lots of clearing going away, allowing you to see the world differently through the eyes of your higher self. The higher self sees the glitter, the vivid colors. The higher self can't drive by a sunset or a full moon. The higher self reminds you to slow down, reminds you to see the world through a different lens, through the lens of love. And when you look at the world and those around you with nothing but love, everything else is released. There's no judgment, there's no fear. We are only here to learn to love. We're not here to judge one another. So we're releasing all of those lower vibrational energies right now. Let them go. They are not your truth. In truth, you are everything that comes from love. Feel it in your heart. So that energy is moving down through the heart. Feel it. It's a greater love than you've ever experienced before. When you experience pure, unconditional love of Source, there's no going back. There's nothing more beautiful. And it fills your heart right now. Feel it. It's beautiful. Big breath. Pull it all in. So nice. They are just wrapping you up in love today. The energy's moving on down through the heart, down through the solar plexus, clearing away any clutter, all the way down around you. They're actually just working to shine you up all the way up and down your back. Any cords, anything from this lifetime, from past lifetimes, from your ancestry, from anywhere, from your lineage, your entire family line. We're asking to have it all cleared away, cleansed. Solar plexus is lighting up. Some of you just released some cords in the solar plexus region. That's why it feels lighter. I love that. Nice. Keep breathing. There's energy flowing deeply through that throat chakra right now. Somebody's getting a good clearing, getting an upgrade. Beautiful. And it's down through the second chakra, clearing you up. You're a brand new baby again today. I know I've told you you're brand new every other day, many other days. Today you're brand new again, coming back up out of the ashes, you beautiful, beautiful phoenixes. You are ready to start fresh today. All the rest of it is just washed away. Down into the root chakra. Kundalini, definitely Kundalini energy coming back up from the base, from the root, all the way up through every one of your chakras. They're just clearing, 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 like two snakes coming up, twisting back and forth like this, clearing away any blocks, any cords, attachments that may still be there, allowing your chakras to spin, spin, spin perfectly right now. Excellent. I'm so glad that you're receiving healing, Jennifer. Severing any cords or attachments to that solar plexus, allowing you to feel your own energy. Any earthbound spirits around you, we're asking to have them crossed over into healing. Nice. There was a nice release there. Even those who have already crossed over sometimes stay close to us in a way that's not healthy, and there's cords and attachments. We're asking for those to be severed too. Anything that's not there for our highest of good. Don't need to have those unhealthy cords, okay? It's not good for them either. It keeps them from full healing. We want all healing today. So that energy is going all the way down the legs, down your knees. Can you feel the heat moving down your legs? All the way into your feet. And the energy is going all the way into the earth. Open up your hands. Hand chakras receiving, clearing energy, healing energy going to the hands so that when you reach out and touch someone, right here, there's healing there. Healing hands. We're receiving. It's beautiful. And that energy is coming back up the legs, all the way back up from the base of the spine. You're all rainbows. Bing, 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 bing. Lighting you right up like a Christmas tree. You're beautiful. More beautiful than you've ever been. You've been polished clean. All kinds of brand new energy coming in today. Take a big breath. Integrate all that energy. And as you're breathing in, please pull that beautiful higher self off of that beach. You've taken a beautiful walk, a beautiful time of releasing. Pull yourself back in, into alignment with the ego. So the ego feels a sense of attachment to the higher self. Feels that perfect parallel. Take a big breath. Give your ego a good hug. See how you're friends now. It's okay. You don't have to fight against. The ego and the higher self do not have to be on opposite ends of the spectrum. They can come together. It's true. Ego is releasing fear. Higher self is bringing comfort. Archangel Michael is coming in to wrap each one of you in a beautiful bubble of protection. Nothing comes in, nothing goes out without your permission. Shine your light brightly today. Enjoy your day. Palms are warm. Excellent, John. Put those hands on your head. Put one on your heart. Allow that beautiful energy coming through your hands to heal your body right now. I saw that coming to you. I just didn't say anything. I saw it coming right straight to you. That's why I said it. Use it for your own good right now. You'll be able to share it out to others when you feel better. Your healing has to come first. Take a big breath, everyone. Enjoy your day. Enjoy all this. There's still a whole lot of healing energy around you. Please enjoy that healing. Enjoy this peace that you found, your bliss. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll see you again, some of you in class at 2, and I'll see the rest of you, whoever would like to show up at 4 o'clock. I love you guys. You're so welcome, Jennifer. Please take good care. Jennifer, your hands are tingling too. Very good. Excellent. Use them today. Don't be afraid to reach out and use those healing hands. How about stepping inside you? Marika, how about it? How about those stepping inside you? It's not to take over your body.